Hi, I'm Sensei Jason Chan with Chicago Fitness Center, the home headquarters for the US Shidokan. My first Boss Babe Models tip is situational awareness. It's kind of the godfather that permeates all the other tips, and that's always being aware and conscious of your surroundings and your environment. Statistically, most attacks or assaults happen within one block of leaving your safety zone or comfort zone, which is either your home or your automobile, or returning to your home or your automobile. It's also a statistic that the elderly and females are the #1 and #2 targets on the streets for assault, whether it's sexual, criminal, or otherwise. So it's very important that #1, above everything else, you project a sense of awareness. My second Boss Babe Models tip for sexual assault prevention is to simply take a sexual assault or rape prevention class. Of course, we offer that at the Chicago Fitness Center, but you can also reach out on the internet and find several programs, whether it be the YMCA or RAD, the Rape Aggression Defense System that's on the internet. There's many ways that you can become more aware to defend yourself. Prevention is everything. A lot of martial artists take martial arts for many reasons. I personally, at this point in my life, now take it so that I can prepare myself for what's out on the streets. And I'm a 53-year-old man. So I recommend to all my friends, men and women alike, to take a sexual assault prevention class. My third Boss Babe Models tip for sexual assault prevention is to stay off your phone. Stay off all your electronic devices, especially in public. It actually makes you a target. It actually tells the perpetrator that that person's not paying attention. They're not aware of their situation. Whether you're on public transportation, you're walking down the street, if you're looking at your device, you're not looking at your surrounding. You're not looking at your environment. You're not aware of who's walking up behind you, who's following you, who's trailing you and watching you go to your car, go to your home. As a matter of fact, when you walk out of your house, I'm guilty of it as well. I put my headphones in, but as soon as I walk out my door, I actually take them off and correct myself that before I leave, I don't wear or look at my phone. Today's fourth tip for Boss Babe Models is intuition. Listening to that inner voice, listening to yourself, that spidey sense, that sixth sense. It'll serve you very well to listen to your intuition. Maybe something doesn't feel right. Maybe something doesn't look right. Maybe you just kind of get an uncomfortable feeling where you have to listen to yourself. That intuition can serve you well and serve a purpose. It's basically telling you that something is dangerous, something doesn't feel comfortable and out of the norm, it's off-center. So it's very important that you listen to your intuition. My fifth Boss Babe Models tip for sexual assault prevention is to create a buddy system. Always let your friends or a coworker or a family member or someone know your movements for the evening, for the night, for the day. If you're going somewhere that you've never been before, a different city, a different state, or even out with a stranger on a first date, you should try to create as much of a buddy system as you can. Even if you're going out with a group of friends, one of your friends should be your designated buddy or designated driver. They should be the one person that is not drinking, that is not having a great time while you and all your friends have a good time, so they can keep an eye on the rest of the group and keep an eye on all your movements and all your actions. Today's sixth sexual assault tip for Boss Babe Models is assume that you're always going to be a target. Unfortunately, in today's world and the environment we live in, the minute you walk out of your safety zone, your house, your car, you almost have to assume that you're going to be a target. Matter of fact, statistically, it's inevitable that you will be a target. If you're a woman or you're elderly, those are the #1 and #2 targets. And again, like I said, unfortunately for the world that we live in, it's literally a jungle out there. So the best thing is prevention. Prevention is the best defense. Be safe. Puss. Today's seventh Boss Babe Models tip for sexual assault and reproduction is not putting all your movements and tracking all your movements on social media. As a matter of fact, it's best to put your location settings and turn them off. A lot of predators actually seek out victims on social media, and statistics, according to the police department, state that 80% of sexual assault and rape victims and survivors knew their assailant. So it's very important that you don't let the bad guys know where you're at all times. Today's 8th Boss Babe Models tip for sexual assault prevention is being aware of your limits when it comes to recreational drug use and alcohol. Alcohol and recreational drugs can impair your judgment and your natural defense mechanisms. Matter of fact, the first time you're with a stranger, you should be very aware of your own alcohol consumption. More importantly, you should always get your own drink. Never leave your drink with a stranger. Bring it with you everywhere, because that will also prevent you from being dosed with a day-to-day drug. So it's very important that you know your limits and always watch your alcohol and drug use. Today's 9th Boss Babe Models tip for sexual assault prevention is a pretty fundamental behavior, and that is, do not put your full name on your mailbox on your street in front of your home. Secondly, it's very important that right after you leave your home or your vehicle, you lock your front door and you lock your vehicle. Or consequently, when you enter your home or your vehicle, you immediately lock your door and your vehicle car door. Statistics show that 70% of the time you're attacked when you're most comfortable, and that's coming or going from your safety zone. My final and 10th Boss Babe Models tip for sexual assault prevention is routine. All the before mentioned 9 tips you have to use as your own routine. You have to make the 9 previous tips part of your routine, and on top of that, you have to be very conscious and make it a habit. Make sure you know the way you're getting home before you leave the house. Make sure you have your keys in your hand before you enter your house or your automobile. And most importantly, make sure you have a secret stash of cash in case you have to jump into a taxi. Puss.